Right, hello there everyone, welcome back to James Redmond TV. We're going to talk about two things in this video. We're going to talk about Luis Diaz and a potential new contract. But first and foremost, I want to talk about Darwin Nunez and kind of compile the front three in one conversation and one sort of debate, if you will, as we like to do on James Redmond TV. So in the comments down below, give me your verdict on what you think of the current situation with Liverpool's front three. And not just the actual regular starters, but then when you include the likes of Diogo Jota, Cody Gakpo, Harvey Elliott, the odd time he plays on the right. How do you assess the current front three? Are you confident with it? And also what needs to be changed? And that's what we're going to be, that's why we're going to be talking about Nunez and Diaz. So first I'll talk about Nunez. As you know, when we first signed Darwin Nunez, I was very, very sceptical. And it weren't just from when we signed him, before we signed him. If you go back to the COP TV content that me and AGT did at the time, you'll know I was not a fan. Just because I understood that Jurgen Klopp would be able to get 20, 25 goals. And look, this season he's got 31 goal contributions. Maybe not the 25, 30 goals, but 31 goal contributions are still very impressive. And with the assists and all these different types of things, it's fantastic. And if he finished better, and if other players finished better, that number would only be higher. So from that perspective, okay, Nunez should be considered a really good signing. And you know what? He's exceeded my expectation. And there's been times this season where I've been happy to jump on the Nunez bandwagon because he was in good form for a decent amount of time. But I did make one statement. I never said Nunez wouldn't score goals. I knew he would always score goals in a Jurgen Klopp side. I never said Nunez wouldn't have a big impact in the team, as I felt that that could be the case. What I always said was, I think it's a bit of a problem that somebody who's an inconsistent finisher is going to receive 70 to 80% of our chances. Because we saw that Salah was slowly changing to that playmaker role, even when Mane was still at the club playing the false nine position. We saw that Salah was adapting that role at the time. So I understood when Nunez came in, it wasn't going to be Nunez and Salah scored all the goals, even though that's kind of how it's been. But Salah would no longer be an outlet with Nunez. It would be Nunez is the outlet. And Nunez has been very beneficial and he's been great in many ways. But the biggest statement that I made was that Nunez would not be enough to win us league titles. Now, why does it just fall on Nunez? Well, look at the most recent couple of weeks. He's the one who's going to be receiving the majority of the chances. That goes for the small games and the big games. Well, what are the big games? The big games are quarter-final of Europa League competition. The big games are the final 7 games that we've still got to play in the Premier League. Those are humongous fixtures that if you have an unreliable finisher up top, it's a big problem. So this isn't a video, and nor has that point ever been, oh, it's only Nunez's fault. James, how can you only call out Nunez and not the other players? Nunez is the one receiving the majority of the chances, or he's going to be involved in every single attack and play, which at times, unfortunately, Nunez does underwhelm in that department. And for that reason, I made the statement that I don't think Nunez could ever win us league titles. And although he's proven to be, at times, a big game player, he's proven to be, at times, a good goal scorer. And he's got great numbers for this season. We're now heading to the nitty-gritty point where we're on the same point as Arsenal. We're 1 point above City. And you need your striker to be able to put the ball in the back of the net. And I think Nunez, yesterday against Atalanta specifically, we saw that that question is now being thing. And the copium for Nunez's lack of finishing when he first joined was, oh, James, he's young. He's going to get better. I now present you the question, has he got better? Because the odd great finish that he gets for Liverpool is the odd great finish that he got for Benfica. That's what strikers like him work as. In fact, it's not just strikers. Think about you at the park when you were younger. There'd be some balls, like say if you made P-rolled it into your feet and then you just pinged it perfectly first time, you were getting a Frank Lampard, Steven Gerrard, Paul Scholes-esque type of finish. But it doesn't mean that you were Paul Scholes, Frank Lampard or Stevie Gerrard. It more meant that you were probably some sideman on the street who were just there to have a kick about. Now, that doesn't mean Darwin Nunez is a sideman. He's still a very sound player and brings so much to the team. But I made one statement, and one statement that was very, very clear. Will Darwin Nunez ever be good enough to win us league titles? And that's a question that I don't think we're going to get an answer to this season based on the way that we're playing and based on the fact that the guy who is getting the majority of the chances isn't converting it in the back of the net when it most matters. It's great that he's got 31 GA, and I understand there's a lot of people, not all, like the majority of my audience are actually quite good, but I mean, there's a small percentage of idiots who watch the video, cling on one point, comment down below without listening to the rest of the video. Before you say, well, James, he's got 31 GA, I know, and that's boss. I also understand that he's had a lot of great impact, he's created a lot of goals for Salah and these type of things, but now we're getting into the nitty-gritty of the season. Where's Darwin Nunez and where's the Darwin Nunez goals when you most need them? And that's why I asked the question and proposed it when he joined. Will Darwin Nunez ever be good enough to win us league titles? I told you before you even knew it, he will score 20 goals and probably get a load of goal contributions. I never made the claim that Darwin Nunez wasn't capable of doing that. I only ever made the claim that would he be able to do it over a sustained period, especially in a period where you're competing for league titles and all these different things. We've seen that Darwin Nunez, okay, he's got confidence, he's just erratic, but that sort of chaos factor that we all love about him is now kind of starting to affect us at the time where it matters most. Because again, yes, we've got bad defensive problems at times. Yes, we've got midfield problems like Szoboszlai and stuff like that. That can't be ignored. But Darwin Nunez is the one getting the majority of the chances. And you can't say that we're not creating more chances than what we're conceding. Maybe bar the Atalanta game. We always create a lot of great chances for our forwards. It's the forwards who let us down. And that's not just Darwin Nunez. That's Luis Diaz at times, who I think has probably been the most impressive forward over the past 6-7 games. And then you've got Salah as well. The overall point is that he's still getting 70 to 80% of our chances and he's not converting at a good percentage for a top-level striker. He gets more chances than most strikers in the league, and that's why he's got the numbers that he does. But he's not that great of a finisher. He's not elite at probably any one attribute besides the physical side of the game. I'd say maybe his heading as well. He's had some good headers that he's knocked on to other players where they've scored or he's scored directly from a set piece. But otherwise, I can't name another attribute that you can say Darwin Nunez is definitively world class, which is a bit of a problem. And then you've also got to sit there and say, well, if he's not world class at any one attribute and he is costing us in big games, then where's his involvement in the team? I've always reverted back to he is a great asset off the bench. But this isn't a Darwin Nunez hate video. I love Darwin Nunez more than you. And the reason why I love Darwin Nunez more than you is because I understand what he's capable of doing. And I want him to be able to maximise his capabilities. Instead of saying, he is definitely going to be a Luis Suarez. He's not Luis Suarez. He's not even Erling Haaland in that way. Because Erling Haaland's efficiency is that, okay, he misses the odd sitter. But he is the goal scorer. He is going to convert the majority of the chances in which he receives. Darwin Nunez isn't in that same category. We've got to rely on creating excessive amount of chances for Darwin Nunez for him to score. But then let's talk about Luis Diaz as well. He's been talked about, and let me know what you think about my Darwin Nunez points. Am I being a hater? I don't think there was anything hateful there, but it was still worth talking about. Luis Diaz. Rumours are that Liverpool are strongly considering providing him a new contract, which I think would be the right thing to do. But if he did leave, and let's say he left to, let's say the rumours, 75 million to PSG, which I don't think will happen, then you have a different mindset, like, can we get anyone better? And if someone better is out there, because I think it would be disingenuous to say that Luis Diaz is the best left winger in the world, and I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility or stupidity to say that Liverpool should aim for the best in class in the left wing position, especially when you've gone from Sadio Mane to Luis Diaz. But if Luis Diaz stays, I'm happy. And if he goes, I'm not overly disappointed. I feel like he's replaceable. So I'd be all right with giving him a new contract. I just hope that that decision is made once the new manager comes in and it's not made at any time beforehand. And then obviously we've got the situation with Salah. How long is he going to stay? And then we saw the situation with Gakpo. Stylistically, this team doesn't really suit him. And then we saw with Harvey Elliott, he's not a great like-for-like for Salah in the right-wing position. Jota is probably the most clinical player at the club, but he has his injury issues. And even before the injury issues, he had a little spell where pretty much 80% of the fan base online was doubting him. And then now this season, apparently he's world-class again, which I've always said Diogo Jota is boss. That's why At the start of the season, when I was getting hated for saying Jota should start above Nunez, I said this for the principle that Diogo Jota can score 2 of 5 shots, whereas Nunez is likely to score 2 of 10 shots, if he's even going to score that. That's not a hate on Darwin Nunez, it's just a simple case that, okay, he's going to get more chances, but Diogo Jota's going to convert from less, and that's why he's more valuable. And Darwin Nunez's biggest goals and biggest involvements at the club come in the final half an hour of a game. And that's the majority of his big moments. So, the way I'm looking at this is I'm fine with keeping Luis Diaz. If Salah stays, I'm okay with that as well. But I would like to see Diogo Jota start going forward so we don't have that worry in our mind. Is our striker going to be able to convert the chances on the off chance that he might hit the ball correctly? Because that's all it is with Nunez. He doesn't know when he's going to hit that ball correctly. He just hopes for the best. And there was plenty of moments against Atalanta where it was just that. Why? Because that is Darwin Nunez. Darwin Nunez is just someone, he's a hit and hope merchant. Doesn't mean he's not a good striker. He's very good in a lot of ways. He's just not a world-class finisher. Unlike Diogo Jota, who even himself, listen, he missed 2 clear-cut opportunities against Atalanta. Bread and butter, Diogo Jota type opportunities, but you saw the impact immediately. You saw how much he wanted to play. I think we benefit having him in the side much more above Darwin Nunez in most games, especially at this point of a season. Don't ever forget, Diogo Jota scored 20 goals prior to January in the quadruple chasing season last time. The proper quadruple chasing season when we were in the Champions League. So, I think the front three is a strong topic, and I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility to doubt them at the moment. But then you should still give them the praise. It's still amazing. Darwin Nunez has got 31 goal contributions. Salah has got ridiculous amount of goal contributions. Luis Diaz has improved on his output, whether you still like his output or not. So there's improvement. But it's just not what the fans of the club want to see. And then you've got to ask, well, will they improve in terms of output? I don't know. Because I don't see the attributes getting any better, but only time will tell. And then as for the backups, I think a lot of people are probably discouraged by the backups. Does that mean we keep Luis Diaz? Or let him go, potentially, and bring in someone who we feel is going to be a bit more inevitable? And what I mean by inevitable, you know they're going to do something in this game, whether create a goal or score a goal, like Sadio Mane. Maybe not towards the end of his Liverpool career, but the first 3 or 4 seasons, absolutely. Mane was inevitable. Same with Mohamed Salah. So, it's all these factors that we've got to talk about. I don't want it to be a hate video. It's just simply an opportunity to open discussion around our attacking players at the moment. And I thought it was a video worth making. Thank you for watching this video. Do smash a like if you enjoyed it. Smash a dislike if you never. And I'll see you all later. Ta-da.